Noam Chomsky is the principal architect of generative linguistics and has been the driving force in recent evolutions of the theory, including in the development of the principles and parameters framework, which one commentator has described as, quote, the first really novel approach to language in the last 2,500 years. Professor Chomsky has also been a key figure in the development of the cognitive sciences generally, indeed the most important figure in their development according to Harvard's Howard Gardner. He is perhaps most famous for his writings and lectures on international politics and in media theory. It is less well known, however, that Professor Chomsky has been an important figure in Anglo-American philosophy over the last 50 years, and that he has been a key interlocutor with all the leading philosophers of language and mind within that tradition. He's had lively exchanges with, for example, Willard Van Orman Quine, Hilary Putnam, Donald Davidson, Saul Kripke, John Searle, Michael Dummett, and now a new generation of philosophers. And I guess the first question has to be the following. Given everything that's on your plate, why do you bother with the philosophers?
Well, that's the most fascinating topic of all. It's what I grew up with and still am obsessed with.
Why do you think other linguists are not, or in general other scientists don't seem to be as engaged with the philosophical community?
Well, scientists tend, I think, to be involved in their own technical problems and often don't think much about, what it's about. So, I for many years taught courses in these questions and would have students read, say, Quine's papers in which he argues that everything they're doing is complete, what he called folly, and he gives arguments saying you can't possibly do it this way. The students will read the papers, but then go back to doing, and say, kind of interesting, and then go back to doing exactly the same work that they've just read is folly and can't be done, and so on and so forth. And I think that's not unusual. If you read the scientific literature, there's a lot of expressed contempt for what philosophers have to say about this. So you'll read somebody working on the neurophysiology of consciousness, big hot topic, and there'll be an obligatory first couple of paragraphs saying, well, the philosophers have muddled this up for centuries, but now we'll show how it's done, but with no engagement in the arguments that have been given or the thinking behind it.
Does it trouble you that, say, most other linguists don't engage philosophers on these issues?
It troubles me, because not so much that, it's connected to a deeper problem. I think it should trouble us that we're not thinking about what we're up to. And those questions happen to be the domain of what philosophers pay attention to.
Right.